Welcome to Outside the Bubble, where we at the Launceston Global Shapers Hub help give you an insight into what else is happening in our community and our world while we've all been staying at home. I'm Adam, and today I have with me Jackson from the Global Shapers Hub in Auckland, New Zealand. So Jackson, what is life like in New Zealand post the lockdown, as it was definitely more severe than ours here in Australia?
Yeah, thanks, Adam, and kia ora. Life is remarkably normal. It's been quite unusual to see how quickly we've managed to snap back to reality and normality, however life was like before the lockdown. I think during lockdown, it was a really difficult time for everyone. It was a very strict lockdown, as Adam said. But we've all kind of acknowledged that going hard and going early was a really sensible thing. And at the same time had grand visions and dreams of maybe what we could change off the back of this, how we could build back better or snap forward, etc. I've really appreciated that hope, and I think that's all been really important. And I think there's a lot of potential in that, but it's been interesting to observe that that hasn't happened yet. Humans, I think, are really comfortable and kind of inert species that like to do what we're familiar with, and that certainly led to us going back to normality, whatever that was before COVID. So what that's looked like for us is there was a couple of days of uncertainty around whether you should hug someone when you see them for the first time, for example. But literally, with 3 days in, it's all got back to normal. And I think, whilst that may be seen as there's an opportunity missed, I think it's also, really unsurprising, but also the opportunity hasn't gone completely at all. I think we've really seen how the world can change significantly so quickly. And that's really reset what possible is for us, what changes we can make in the world. So I think now that we see that, we have that different perspective, we've had a spotlight on some of the social and environmental challenges in the world, we can continue pondering them, thinking slowly and carefully about them until we see that solution. We have the feelings of the trauma and the challenges that COVID created as impetus to achieve those solutions once they become clear. So I think I'm still optimistic that life will, and the system will improve a lot thanks to COVID.
So we've heard about your 4-day working week over here in Australia, and sometimes envious, sometimes wondering what's happening. What is the thinking behind this, and do you actually think it'll get up?
I would love it to get up. I think for lots of reasons. Certainly the more people work when they're at their best and at their most effective, the better. I think it was long ago established that working 9 to 5 theoretically isn't the most productive time to work for everyone, and some flexibility in there is good, not just from needy millennials. But it's been interesting to see this conversation reappear in New Zealand post-COVID and to look at the motivations for that. And what's surprising with the current conversation is that part of them, whilst I'm sure there's some acknowledgement that a 4-day working week is a more productive way to work, a really big factor in why this conversation has come up is because a 4-day work week leads to a 3-day weekend. And with New Zealand being, one of our largest sectors being tourism, that's taken a huge hit as we've shut our borders. And so what some tourism operators find is that a long weekend, Easter weekend, for example, some tourism operators generate the same amount of revenue in that weekend as they do in the entire month of June. So what some of the thinking is if we have more long weekends, people will travel more domestically, they'll spend more with local tourism operators, and that will provide a significantly needed boost to the New Zealand economy. So I think that 3-day weekend is as much of a factor in the decision to re-raise this 4-day working week as the 4-day aspect of the week. And saying all of that, I don't think it'll happen. I think it will continue to be this position that, yes, this is a great idea. We really encourage businesses to take this up, but there'll be no kind of mandate or requirement from any senior level for it. What there might be is the odd extra public holiday, temporarily for the same purpose, but I don't think there'll be anything more extensive from a government level.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Jackson, for joining us today. And look, if you want to find out more about the discussion that we had, have a look at the Examiner newspaper where you can read more. If this is the first time you've joined us, this is part of a larger series where we take insights from our community and across our globe, so please have a look at the other videos that we've uploaded on YouTube and on Facebook. If you want to find out more about us at the Launceston Global Shapers Hub, connect with us online, or else you can find out more about the global community at globalshapers.org. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.